Have you ever wondered why some photos are full of beautiful detail while others look grainy, dull, or just wrong? It's not your camera, it's your ISO. And today I'm going to show you how mastering this one setting can change everything about your photos. Mastering ISO means taking control of your camera's sensitivity to light, and learning when to use it smartly can mean the difference between a clear, stunning image and a muddy, disappointing one. And here's a quick insight some beginners miss. Sometimes a high ISO isn't your enemy, it's your best friend when you need to get the shot. Oh, and did you know that ISO actually stands for the International Organization for Standardization? And it has nothing to do with photography or camera specifically. It just means that all camera sensors from any brand are calibrated to the same global standards for light sensitivity. So the ISO 400 means the same thing no matter what camera you're using. Good to know, eh? If you're finding this useful and you want to keep building your skills, make sure to download your copy of my photography ebook. It's full of simple, practical tips you can use straight away. Totally free when you sign up to my monthly newsletter, and it's linked for you below. Okay, so what is ISO really? ISO controls how sensitive your camera's sensor is to light. A lower number like ISO 100 means less sensitivity, but clean, smooth image files. A higher number like ISO 1600, 3200 or higher makes the sensor much more sensitive, letting you shoot in darker conditions. However, more sensitivity adds more image noise. So why does this matter? Well, because sometimes you can't control the light around you, like if you're inside a dimly lit church or shooting at sunset or maybe catching a last-minute street photo at night. In those cases, bumping up your ISO means you can use a faster shutter speed to freeze motion or a smaller aperture to keep more of your scene in focus. So, when should you dial your ISO up or down? Well, on a bright sunny day, keep ISO low at say 100 or 200. With indoor lighting or cloudy days, raise it slightly to ISO 400, 800. At night or very low light, go higher, ISO 1600, 3200, sometimes even 6400 or beyond. But remember, high ISO comes with a trade-off, image noise. That's that slight grainy look you sometimes see, especially in the dark areas of a photo. So how do you use ISO in a smart, creative way? Well, it's all about knowing your priorities. If you need a clean, smooth image for landscapes or portraits, keep ISO as low as possible. If you want to freeze action in dim light, like indoor sports or nighttime street shots, don't be afraid to bump ISO up to get the shot. Better a slightly grainy, sharp image than a beautifully clean, blurry one. And modern cameras handle ISO much better than you might think, and post-processing is getting better and better at dealing with it. And here's something pretty cool to think about. In black and white or monochrome photography, a little bit of noise, that grainy texture, can actually add character and atmosphere to your images. It can make a modern digital photo feel almost like a classic film shot, full of mood, texture, and emotion. So sometimes embracing the grain can actually give your photos a whole new creative feel. I like to think of ISO like a campfire. Now bear with me. A small, low fire, let's call that a low ISO, is clean and controlled. Perfect if you've got plenty of natural light. But if it gets dark and you still need to see, you build a fire higher, which represents a high ISO. And it definitely gets brighter, but it also gets a little bit smokier too. It's a balance, just enough light without too much smoke. Remember, no one ever looked at a once-in-a-lifetime moment and said, well, too bad, there's a bit of grain. They just see the story, the emotion, the memory. So don't be afraid of ISO, use it as a tool to help tell your story. Here's a few common mistakes I very often see. Forgetting to lower your ISO after shooting in the dark. This results in unnecessarily noisy photos in good light. Pushing the ISO way too high unnecessarily. You can fix some exposure problems by opening your aperture or slowing down your shutter speed instead. Thinking grain is always bad. Some of the most iconic street and documentary photos are packed with beautiful textured noise. And we all make mistakes. Let me tell you about one of my early experiences. I was shooting a wedding. It was a beautiful summer day, the whole thing. We started with the bride getting ready indoors, low light, so I cranked up the ISO to make sure I could catch every little emotion and every tiny detail. Then her dad arrived and we captured this beautiful first look. Her standing at the top of the stairs, Him trying not to cry, it was perfect. Then we moved outside, bright sunlight, lots of emotion, no time to think. I grabbed 3 shots in a row, and then I realized, you guessed it, my ISO was still sky high from indoors. Those first 3 images completely blown out, ruined, no chance of using them whatsoever. So I had to swallow my pride, smile and say, can you just hang on a minute guys, do you mind if we do that again? And you know what? They were great about it. It happens even when you think you know what you're doing. So don't beat yourself up, just build the habit of checking your settings every time the light changes. That was my lesson anyway. Remember, ISO is just a tool. Know when to use it and how to balance it with shutter speed and aperture. Okay, for those of you that stuck around, here's a bonus tip as a reward. Would you like to know how high you can push your ISO without wrecking your image quality? Well, you can run a simple test. Go to a dimly lit room, put your camera on a tripod, pick an aperture, say f4, and stick with it. Then take the same photo at ISO 100, 400, 800, 1600, 3200 and 6400. Don't forget to alter your shutter speed though to get an acceptable exposure each time. Then review all the pictures on your computer at 100% view. You'll quickly see where your camera starts to struggle and where the images still look great. Knowing what your camera can handle means you can shoot confidently in any light without worry. If this helped you feel more confident about mastering ISO, or if you learned something new, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Your support really is appreciated. And don't forget to download your free ebook below. It's packed with more tips to help you build your skills and confidence. And if you want more help with your photography, why not check this one out next? And I'd love to know, have you ever had a moment where you forgot to change a setting and only realized after the shot? What happened? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and I bet we all learn something together. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.